Well, hosting the Cycling World Championships is the latest move by Rwanda to use sports to boost its image internationally. But some accuse the country of sports washing, pointing to what they say is Paul Kagame's authoritarian leadership, as well as the country's role in the ongoing war in neighboring DRC. For some insight, we can bring in Will Mbiakop, executive chairman of the African Sports and Creative Institute. He joins us via video from South Africa. Good morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
First, just how significant is it for Rwanda to be hosting this event?
It's unbelievable. I always say there's never been a better time to invest in Africa's sports industry. And today is another testament of it. It's history in the making. The first time ever Africa is hosting the World Road Cycling Championship. But beyond that, we have to understand that it's also a business play. The UCI president, first of all, is one of the top right holders in the world. And by granting the right to Africa to host it, it's also a way to say that, yes, we can do it and Africa can host major events. Number two, they also understand that it's a fan engagement play. So basically, you're trying to make your sports more popular. You're trying to recruit new fans. You understand that Africa is a 1.4 billion people market. So you understand that investment is the right place for Africa, and Africa's sports industry is the right place to invest.
And what are some of the other ways that Rwanda is involved with professional sports? Because this isn't the first thing that they're involved with.
Oh, absolutely. I think Rwanda understands the power of sports. They've been doing that for so many years, I think 2 decades now. If you recall, back in the days, we saw for the first time the Visit Rwanda campaign led by RDB, Rwanda Development Board. And we saw Visit Rwanda logo in major football teams around the world. I'm thinking of Arsenal in the UK. I'm thinking of Paris Saint-Germain in France. And most recently, we saw Bayern Munich in Germany. So I think Rwanda leadership do understand how powerful sports is. It's a great vehicle for nation branding, obviously sports diplomacy as well. As you rightfully said earlier, UCI is the World Championship. You have to develop diplomatic relationship with countries around the world.
And as you said, this does, come with a lot of business opportunities for Rwanda, but President Paul Kagame has also been accused of trying to sports wash his image. What do you make of those accusations?
Yeah, I think, a lot of organizations worldwide have been talking about it. I'm thinking most recently of the Human Rights Watch. They did point out that hosting those major events is also a way to deter attention from the atrocities happening right now in East Congo. So that's what leadership and international opinion are reporting rightfully.
A Belgian journalist has also said that he was denied entry to Rwanda to report on the event because he believes it's because he's reported critically on Rwanda in the past. Do you think that there's going to be much criticism of Rwanda as a host country?
I think that there'll be more and more sports events going to Africa overall. Rwanda is a premier destination to do so. And, I think right holders are looking at that. They're also more and more mindful of the beyond the business side of any partnerships. I think you've seen recently that Bayern Munich has redefined the magnitude and the scope of the partnership with Visit Rwanda, where now they're focusing more onto youth development. But what we also see is that across the continent, with the DRC, for instance, and the Heart of Africa campaign, those partnerships that you may have seen with AS Monaco, Milano in AC Milano in Italy, and most recently the $40 million partnership with FC Barcelona. So more and more people understand that they do need to put effort on the political side of it, but they also need to embrace sports as a fantastic vehicle for nation branding, sports diplomacy, and tourism promotion.
So it sounds like for now, despite the criticism from human rights groups that you were saying is legitimate, that's not impacting Rwanda's ability to get involved with hosting sporting events.
I don't think it does, because the event is going on today, right?
I do want to talk about the event itself. Do you think that Slovenian cyclist and defending champion Tadej Pogačar is sure to win, or is there anyone out there who can beat him?
Oh wow, there's so many. It's one of the most open championship ever. The competition is most anticipated. Obviously, very challenging. I think we mentioned earlier, 1,500 meters high, the altitude, the hills. It's wide open. You mentioned him. You mentioned Aramco. I think we should mention Aramco. We want to think of the Africans as well, right? Eritrean with Bene Guimay. I'm thinking of Mauritius as well with Kim. So there's so many teams out there who can perform. We have to mention Australia as well, Denmark, and so on and so forth. So to be honest, it's wide open. I think everybody's super excited about it, and we're looking forward to a great championship.
Yeah, what you said, Kim Lecour of Mauritius, she's one of the front runners, I believe, on the women's side from Africa, as well as Binyam Girmay, who's one of the strongest. He's from Eritrea, one of the strongest on the men's side. I've heard, though, that this race is not going to be ideal for him, though, because it's so hilly and he's more of a sprinter.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But remember, it's a team play, right? It's a team play. So I think Eritrea has some chances. Obviously, we need to look at Morocco. I think Morocco is doing pretty well as well. I think Algeria, South Africa, obviously. South Africa will probably play a major role on those championships. So again, it's wide open, a lot of competition, and again, a lot of excitement around those championships.
All right, we'll be following it all here on France 24. Thank you again so much, Will Mbiakop, for giving us your insight today. That's Will Mbiakop, Executive Chairman of the African Sports and Creative Institute.